How's it going, everyone? My name is Case, and in this video we are going to be taking a look at this, the 2021 Hyundai Elantra N-Line. This is the higher performance version of the Elantra with 201 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque, so let's check it out. This 2021 Hyundai Elantra N-Line starts at $25,095, including destination. And we have to quickly distinguish between N and N-Line because the two are very different. There is an upcoming Hyundai N version of the Elantra that should be out very soon, but this is the N-Line, and the difference is that N-Line models are less high performance. However, that's not to say that N-Line is purely an appearance package, because they have made actual performance upgrades to this version of the Elantra as well. Now, first things first, you can tell that the exterior is quite a bit different from the standard Elantra. They've given it a new front fascia, as well as different wheels that are N-specific, and more aggressive side skirts. Around the back, they have also added a lip spoiler, which is subtle, but gives it more of that aggressive appearance. And at the bottom, you can see dual exhaust with chrome tips and a bit of a diffuser here at the very bottom. Overall, the car styling doesn't jump out too much, but it does give it a little bit sportier of a look, especially because you can see the exhaust pipes, whereas on the standard model, the exhaust is more hidden. In a moment, we'll talk to Davis Lee, who works at Hyundai in their design team, and dig deeper into why they've styled the car that they have. But first, we have to talk about some of the performance upgrades that go along with the more aggressive styling. And some of those include a tighter steering rack, which has fewer turns from lock to lock, bigger brakes, stiffer suspension, specially tuned shocks, and a power steering system that is mounted to the rack rather than to the steering column to give it more performance. You also get two transmission options, a manual 6-speed or a 7-speed dual clutch. And that 7-speed dual clutch runs an extra $900 as compared to the manual, but you do get 2 extra MPGs combined, 31 as opposed to 29. They have done a good amount in terms of making sure that there are some sporty touches here. As you can see immediately when you step in, you get this N steering wheel that's leather wrapped. It has red stitching, which is a theme in this interior. You also get this dark chrome looking metal finish on some of the accents. As well, on the side of the wheel, you also have some piano black finish, which gives this touch point a little bit more of a premium feel. Moving on up to the analog gauge cluster, as you can see all the way on the left, your tachometer has a red checkered finish line looking flag at the end of it. And just in general, you have these red rings to give it a bit more of a sporty look, but at the same time on the right, you have a very small, simple screen there. And overall, a lot of this interior has a basic appearance to it. If you look up here at the dashboard, you can see very simple, inexpensive materials. The same thing as you move down towards the glove box and into the door card. Granted, you do have more red stitching. The vents continue into this, again, dark chrome appearance that goes all the way across the dash. So it's not an ugly interior by any means. It is just very simple. These materials right here, they're not the most premium feeling, although again, in terms of touch points, this door handle has a good solid feel to it. It's also this dark metal that you find on the wheel and also on the vents. Down here, your pedals, of which there are 3, are all alloy. Even the dead pedal is an alloy. So that gives you a little bit of a nicer response when you tap your foot on the pedals. Here at the shifter, you can see it's leather wrapped. You've got your reverse lockout. All of this feels nice. These are more substantial feeling materials than what you find in a lot of the rest of the interior. Once again, red stitching here on the boot. But then again, points like this And this is just plastic. It's very basic economy car stuff. So there are a lot of aspects of this interior that are similar to the more economical base model Elantras. Here on the seat, you can see it's cloth, so again, not the most premium of materials, but they do some very interesting design elements. This texture on the bolsters, again, red stitching, and you get just a number of sections on the seat which give it a little bit more of a sporty appearance. Once again, you have this N badge here to make sure that you know you're in a sporty car. One nice thing about the interior is the standard sunroof. That is a nice feature for a basic car. You also get a real parking brake. So none of that electronic parking brake nonsense. This is a car that's meant to be, according to Hyundai, a lot more fun to drive than the regular Elantra, and its performance upgrades back that up. Here in front of the shifter, you also get a wireless phone charger, so that way you can use Apple CarPlay on this smaller screen. And why don't we take a look at the back seats? Around back, these seats get similar red stitching and sections to them to match the front. But otherwise, it's very simple. There's no vents back here, no heated seats, nothing really much on the door cards. It's all very simple. However, one good aspect of these back seats is that it is fairly spacious. You can see, seated behind myself, I have plenty of leg room. I also have a good amount of headroom. I'm only 5'10", so I'm not the biggest guy, but at the same time, I fit here comfortably, and so would you, even if you're up to maybe 6'2". Let's talk to Davis Lee here at Hyundai and dig a little deeper into why they've styled the car the way that they have.
I'm Davis Lee, Senior Designer at Hyundai Design North America, and I participated in the exterior look of the new CN7 Elantra. So the biggest difference between the N-Line and the standard model is the bumper. I mean, of course, we added these side intakes for more aggressive look, for the sportiness of the car, and then we have a lower lip at the bottom. And there's more black to the N-Line than the standard model. So if you look at the standard model, we have a really wide horizontal wing that goes across from the side to the other side, and there's a little bit less holes, less intakes than the N-Line. So these two are the biggest differences you see between the N-Line and the standard model. We added the black lower bumper in the license plate, which gives it a maximum width feeling, also with more dynamic look to the car. So if you see the difference between the standard and the N-Line, is this black garnish that comes from here to all the way to the side. It creates the wide look of the car from the rear, which you don't have in the standard model.
I noticed too that you've got kind of a diffuser effect at the bottom here.
Yes, we also have a diffuser on the N-Line, which we don't have on the standard model. And everything was to create maximum width and maximum sportiness to the car in terms of the looks of the car.
And I've also noticed that these N-Lines have a particular wheel design, which has a bit more of an aggressive look to it. It almost looks like they've got like what would you call those? That little bit of texture on the spoke.
Parametric patterns, parametric dynamics, which we implemented into the car. We can also see it on the C-pillar garnish. There's little airflow curtains there. We implemented this shape into the wheels to actually visualize the flow of the air and to give it a bit more dynamic look to the wheels. So these are 18-inch wheels you see on the N-Line and the 17-inch on the standard model.
The 2021 Hyundai Elantra N-Line is set to hit dealerships in December. So if you're in the market for a sporty but stripped-down commuter car, this is one that is worth a look. As always, this is Case with a Fastlane Car. Be sure to go back to tflcar.com for more independent and honest reviews.